He's been on Comedy Central, and you may have heard him at the Looney Bin also several times. He's from Derby. We won't hold that against him. And his name is Vaughn Fry. Let's all give him a big welcome. Vaughn Fry, come on up. Okay, is this one working? Okay, keep clapping. I'm pretty good. Alright, that's too much. You're going to be disappointed now. My name is Vaughn Fry. Welcome to the awkward transition between bands. I am 30-something years old. I am from Derby, Kansas, and that means my life peaked in high school. I am very proud and humbled to be with you here today as we celebrate our nation's independence while we still can, because I'm seeing a pattern here. What was that movement? It was May 2, June 3, July 4th. It could happen. You know, if it was up to Nike, we'd have to apologize for being here, wouldn't we? We'd have to issue that apology, be like, I did not, thought I might have a stool to put that on. You gotta whip out your smartphone, get on Facebook for the first time in 3 years, be like, I did not knowingly attend an Independence Day barbecue. I was under the impression we were going to watch the movie starring Will Smith. And because everybody's supposed to be vegan now, it was more or less a salad queue and not a barbecue. That's a possibility. I think that Wichita's kind of been in the spotlight lately. Fred Van Fleet, you guys know that about him? Adopted son of Wichita, former Wichita State Shocker men basketball player. Recently won the NBA Finals with the Toronto Raptors. He also, in that process, became the first non-playable character from Grand Theft Auto to win an NBA championship. You guys, okay, so somebody's heard of Grand Theft Auto, that's good. I remember when the last Grand Theft Auto came out, I was playing it so much I started to subliminally pick up special skills from the game. I remember I was driving in downtown Wichita one day, and I came to a stoplight, and yeah, I stopped, but next to me pulled up an armored truck, and so I rolled down my window. It's an older SUV. And then I thought to myself, why didn't I just roll down my window? Well, in Grand Theft Auto 5, when an armored truck is on your left, you have to roll down your window and then chuck grenades at it to try to dislodge the door on the back so that the loot falls out. You go out in the street, grab that, get in your car, take off. So Grand Theft Auto made me some kind of sleeper cell bank heist expert, I guess. Unfortunately, that day I was fresh out of grenades. I play a lot of video games, I don't know if you can tell, but I'm strictly a console gamer. Some people get on the computer, they get the mouse and keyboard out. I don't think that requires enough skill. Give me a controller, put me in front of a TV, and I'm good. The number one console right now for playing video games is the PlayStation 4. And since I'm a console gamer, I play on the Xbox One. And I enjoy it and stuff. The games these days, a lot of them are online, multiplayer stuff. You got to cooperate with people. You got to get your little headset, you got your little microphone, and you're talking to people. You want to do something called teamwork, I guess. I've heard about it. And there is a sound that when your team gets together, if I hear this sound, I know my team is going to lose before the game even starts. And it's not the sound of some 5-year-old getting yelled at by his mom in the background because it's past his bedtime. Oh, you're going to hear plenty of that. The sound you don't want to hear is a chirp. Then maybe a minute later, you hear another chirp. Anybody got to guess what the chirp is? Someone on your team has a smoke detector in their house with low batteries, and they have decided that rather than do something about it, they will just ignore it and hope that it goes away. And they can actually develop the skill to sleep through it, and we call this ear blind. You hear the chirp, you're going to lose. Probably the most popular game right now is Fortnite. Has anybody played Fortnite? Okay, cool. That's 3 of you. Awesome. I'm okay at Fortnite. It aggravates me a little bit. It's a very odd game. There's no real story, so I just make one up. I think it's about a prison bus flying over a desert island, and there's 100 inmates inside. And they each have to parachute out, and you got like a team of 4, but you jump down onto this island below where there's supplies to help you kill each other, as one would, and they're all in very normal places. You walk around a soccer field, oh hey, in the middle of the soccer field there's a machine gun. Totally normal, where a machine gun's supposed to be. And you come across the treasure chests that are like glowing as though they're the briefcase from Pulp Fiction. And inside the treasure chest is just a variety of items. Well, every time I play the game, there's some kind of new update, and there's something new in the chest, and I have to ask my teammates what it's about. So I'm like, okay, I got the chest, I'll take the machine gun, I'll take the bandages, and okay guys, what's with the disco ball? What do I do with that? Okay, disco was a genre of music in the 70s. It's a ball covered in mirrors. It's a boogie bomb? Okay, do I want that? Oh no, they're shooting me. Yeah, I'm down. What's he look? He looks like John Wick. He's got a machine gun. Alright, you got him? Cool, come pick me up. Now I don't need your bandages. I got plenty of those. No matter how many times I get shot in the back, I always have to wrap this left arm up. So now that you're healed up, you're ready to go run in a straight line. That's most of how Fortnite works, because there's a purple storm that has circled the island, and the safe zone is on your map, and it's always on the opposite side of the island of where you are. So get running, and while you're en route, maybe grab some resources. Now, the one thing you were able to smuggle among the prison bus was a magical pickaxe. You just take that pickaxe out, and you see a tree, whack. You got wood, you can build a fence, that's good. You see some rock, whack. Alright, somehow you made bricks. You can build brick wall, that's helpful. Well, you get to the middle of the map, and you're one of the last teams left, so things are looking pretty good for you. But it's time to put the fort in Fortnite, and because the 5-year-olds on your team are a better shot than you, it's up to you to play this old house. So you get out your blueprints, and you got your walls going up, and there's a rocket. Alright, there's just another team left, it's just you and them. Oh no. They got me again. It's John Wick, and he's got the Easter Bunny with him. They're finishing me off. Chirp. Okay, that joke went about as good as I thought it would. Aside from video games, I guess what I obviously should be doing is starring in action movies. The problem is, they don't let guys with awesome hair star in action movies anymore. John Wick is the exception, not the rule. Have you guys seen the biggest franchise in action? I guess it would be Fast and Furious. Alright, we've heard of that. I'm going with the stuff I'm hoping people have heard of here. Between Vin Diesel, Tyrese Gibson, Jason Statham, Dwayne Johnson, that cast is looking like an audition for the role of Mr. Clean, isn't it? Now, with Paul Walker gone, I think they need a new white guy with blonde hair. How about Owen Wilson? Wow, I am so excited to be part of this whole multi-ethnic crew. You got a Latina, 2 black guys. I'm not sure what Dwayne and Vin are, but I can be your token white guy with blonde hair. Oh, maybe I can drive like an American muscle car, and after the heist, we can all go grab salsa. Man, the Owen thing usually goes pretty well. I've noticed that Vin Diesel's role in this movie, it's like he just shows up to tell you how this next movie is supposed to be different than the last one. So you see the commercials, and Vin's like, what is it, Fast 6? This time, we taking it to a whole new level. And Furious 7, this time, it ain't about being the fastest. But Fate of the 8, this time, it ain't like the last time. Like, he's running out of ways to tell these movies apart as well. I feel like, shoot. I didn't know there'd be so much activity over here. Not distracting at all, huh? There was fireworks and stuff. I really like commercials, particularly local commercials, because local commercials have this sense of desperation that I love to hate. And I think that the king of the local commercials is Jerry O'Neill for Continental Siding. We have got to have heard of that, right? We're right over there, his target area. This guy, he has always got some kind of story to guilt trip you into buying siding options you don't necessarily want. He'll say things like, "Hi folks, Jerry O'Neill here for Continental Siding. Now I don't want to have to lay off my entire staff during these hot summer months, so if you don't mind having some seams on the back side of your house, we'll do that side for half the price." Oh, no. Continental Siding. I would like to see Jerry go through with some brutal honesty sometime. Like maybe, for example, "Hi folks, Jerry O'Neill here for Continental Siding. Due to a recent gambling addiction, my wife and I have gone into hiding from the Russian mafia, giving you these low prices on seamless vinyl siding. Call now. Continental Siding." If that is the king of the local ads, then the queen has got to be Spangles. That is how you pronounce Spangles. It's the way the woman in the Spangles ad says Spangles. She's the founder's daughter, so I think she has some inside information on how to pronounce Spangles. My favorite thing about Spangles is that they named the dessert after the condition it gives you, mudslide. You know it's true. That's why we laugh. I didn't just piss off a sponsor, did I, with that? Okay. Though the local ads have the desperation, it's the national ads that have the big money to spend, and they always have some kind of spokesperson, and I don't think that they get the right spokesperson every time. Like Beats by Dre, spokesperson, LeBron James. Yeah, because if there's anybody I know has a discerning ear, it's a professional basketball player, and not maybe, oh, I don't know, somebody who makes music for a living. To me, the weirdest endorsement of celebrities is Tom Brady and Simmons Beauty Rest. Have you seen this ad? He goes into this hotel, and the guy's like, "Oh, Mr. Brady, you're here." Takes him up the elevator, shows him a room that has nothing but a Simmons Beauty Rest mattress in it. And Tom Brady's like, "That's all I need." Now, I'm not saying Tom Brady isn't a sleep expert. I'm just saying who isn't. I kind of think we've all had some practice sleeping. We could probably even turn pro. In fact, wouldn't it be better to get somebody like especially lazy, not a pro athlete, to be your mattress spokesperson? I'm lazy enough. I think I'm up for the challenge. I'll tell you what I think got me so lazy is Netflix instant streaming. We got Netflix around here, right? Enthusiasm, cool. I've got this collection of DVDs and Blu-rays I cannot be bothered to watch. It's like, gotta get up out of bed, walk over to the shelf, crack open the case, pull out this magical disc that has an entire movie in it and slide it into the Xbox One. Oh, that is just so much work. I'm just going to lay here and watch Netflix instead. You ever get so lazy that you just watch what Netflix tells you to watch next? I guess I'm watching Magic Mike. You guys seen Magic Mike? Okay, let me explain it to you. It's about these guys who, for a living, get up on stage, just like me. And they do comedy sketches, and they all have nicknames. Yeah, that's what happens. And they'll have names that fit with them. Like there's a guy named Tarzan. He wears a loincloth. He pulls a woman from the crowd named Jane. And yeah, it fits. It works for me. There's a guy named Ken. He comes out on stage in a giant Ken Barbie doll package. It's actually excessively authentic looking. I don't know how they had the budget for that. Then Magic Mike takes the stage. Not a magician. Ruins the illusion entirely. I'm very disappointed in you, Magic Mike. All the while, the crowd is really quite raucous, and they got this guy who owns the club. His name is Dallas, appropriately enough wearing a cowboy hat, and he's played by Texan actor Matthew McConaughey. And it is his job to explain the rules to the audience. And he says, "The law says you cannot touch, but I think I see a lot of lawbreakers here tonight." Now, I was thinking that there was another actor from Texas who could have explained the rules to the crowd just as well. Wow, hey, the law says you cannot touch. But I think I see a lot of lawbreakers here tonight. So I want to get into maybe a little bit of politics, if you guys don't mind. Now, look, I didn't vote. They don't let convicted murderers vote. I didn't vote. Draw your own conclusions. And so I like to keep it pretty neutral. I wanted to be able to make fun of or have fun with whoever was elected president. I had people in my family who really took a pretty hard stance one way or the other. Now, my grandfather, he was under the impression in the 2016 elections that if Hillary Clinton became president, she would come to his house and personally take away his guns. This caused him to buy more guns. So I was seeing him, and he's in Oklahoma City. I'm visiting him, and he's showing me his new 50 caliber Tommy gun. So I thought I'd have some fun with him. I'm like, hey, Grandpa, what are you going to do if Hillary Clinton comes by and take your guns? And he says, well, I'll fill her with holes. Fill her with holes. That didn't seem to happen. So I guess it worked out pretty well for Hillary Clinton. And I'm not so... I guess I'm kind of glad Hillary didn't win, because the impression for Hillary Clinton is really boring. It's just where enthusiasm meets confusion. It's as simple as, hi y'all, it's great to be here in Park City, Utah, Kansas. With Donald Trump, there is so much more to do. First, you got to do the hand signals. I think it all started with, you're fired. So then he's like, I gotta keep doing hand stuff. So he'll do like this, and then there's all these kind of things going around. At some point, he's gonna be like, peace sign, live long and prosper, these aren't the droids you're looking for. Donald Trump decided that it would be a good idea to launch a weekly YouTube video address to the nation. Has anybody seen this?
No.
It is the most amazing thing. It's Donald Trump giving you the news and reacting to it at the same time. In the first one, he says, I've signed an executive order to start construction of the wall. Great idea, it's about time. That is the way I want to hear my news from now on. You know what, Donald Trump, he always says that the people going after him, it's a witch hunt. My question is, when did witch hunts become a bad thing? If not for the intrepid citizens of Salem, Massachusetts, we could all be speaking Wiccan. So hats off to them, patriots. Yeah, I mean, I'm kind of glad that when Hitler's U-boats are taking over the Atlantic, we didn't just turn to 3 green women with warts huddled around a cauldron with a large ladle, hoping that some kind of tsunami would occur. Yeah, that wouldn't have worked, right? Magical spells. You know, I never got into Harry Potter, for that matter. Harry Potter... look, I'm confused. It's about a boy with a lightning scar. He's the chosen one. And somehow the girl does everything. So what's his point? I was on like the 4th movie in Harry Potter. He was visiting with his buddy Ron and his family. They're going to a Quidditch match, which is like soccer that takes place in the air, but you ride a broom. And there's this tent set up, a camping tent, and Ron's family gets in, and Harry's like, that's kind of a small tent for everybody to be fitting into. And then what should have happened is Harry Potter then says, I bet it's a magical tent, and inside it's actually like enormous, like a huge house, and there's amenities everywhere, and it's amazing. And then he goes inside, and it turns out to be a regular tent, and everybody's cramped. That would have been the highlight of the entire film franchise. Instead, Harry Potter goes into the tent, and it is, of course, magical. It's huge. There's rooms for everybody. There's amenities, probably an espresso machine, all this stuff. And Harry Potter looks around completely bewildered that this happened, and he is 4 movies in. Lightning, Scar, Chosen One, 4 movies in, still dumbfounded by magic. No, I'm not having that. Totally checking out. I find that, I talked about some nonsense there. Let's talk about something real, like superpowers. There are people among us with superpowers. Some of them have exciting origin stories. And some of these powers maybe aren't that useful, but they're still super. A friend of mine in college has superpowers. One day he told me the origin story of how he got those superpowers. He was a little boy. He went to the pantry one day, and he sucked down an entire bear-shaped jar of honey. And that gave him the superpowers of diabetes. I have superpowers, arguably more helpful than diabetes, some would say. I don't have a lot of control over them. Basically what I can do is, I can just kind of like have a vision of an actor that's going to die, like that instant. And it usually helps if they're like very old and have cancer. It makes predicting their death a lot easier. I'll just kind of, and then just say the name, and it's like, oh, they're gone. The best example of this, a couple years ago, I was working out at the gym. I was doing some crunches, and I just started thinking of this movie called Paris, Texas, starring John Hurt. And I was like, John Hurt dies tonight. I gotta let somebody know. So I tell my parents, I'm like, hey, John Hurt dies tonight. And they're like, yeah, that's great. We're watching Madam Secretary. So I go to bed. I wake up the next day and I check Twitter and I see John Hurt trending. I'm like, yeah, I did it. I predicted the future, didn't I? I check what it's about. It's like he's dead. I'm like, yeah, I'm a badass. And then I see his picture, and that's when it dawns on me that John Hurt was not in Paris, Texas. I was thinking of Harry Dean Stanton, the second victim from the 1979 sci-fi horror film Alien. And I got John Hurt, the first victim from Alien, by mistake. So, that's unfortunate. But there is a happy ending. 6 months later, at the age of 91, Harry Dean Stanton finally died. Okay, hooray for death to the elderly. I bought my mom a new car. That's what I call it whenever my dad buys my mom a new car. It is a fully loaded Jeep Grand Cherokee. It's got everything, trail rated, leather seats, heated cooling seats, heated steering wheel, all the stuff. Because it is a white Jeep Grand Cherokee, we nicknamed it Elizabeth Warren. And Elizabeth Warren has some great features on her, guys. Like, we've got the smart key. Raise your hands if you got the smart key. Somebody is, okay, you guys are going to love the smart key. It's like, you know, keyless, you click, and then you have to get the thing out, you got to click, you got to put it in the ignition, all that stuff. What a waste of time with the smart key. You can leave the key in your purse or in your pocket and just walk up to the car senses it because it's smart. And then you just open the door, you jump in the seat, buckle up for safety, then you hit the start button, and then you back up into some pedestrians and you take off. Totally awesome feature. My mom does not trust the technology of the smart key. She leaves it in her purse, and then she swipes her purse across the door like it is a credit card. Then she hops into the seat, buckles up because she's very safe driver, hits the start key, and then runs over some pedestrians and takes off, you know, as one should. I guess, I don't know if these guys are about finished over here. I was going to wrap up with a little thing I call mom quotes. This is something that, it's probably my best bit, and Jimmy Fallon started to steal some of this stuff. So I think it's probably worth sharing. I post these on my Twitter, and these are actual things my mom has told me in recent years. Now, I want to have a Netflix series called Vaughn Will Die Alone, in which I play every role. My mom thought somebody else should play her, so she says, in your TV show, I want to be played by Rosie O'Donnell or Terry Hatcher. You gotta admit, I'm a lot cuter than Chevy Chase. I mean, Rosie O'Donnell. We're watching TV, I see a Geico commercial. Hey, Mom, you know who they are? The Spice Girls. No, that's Salt and Pepper. But they are spices. Hey, they got Coke from Mexico now, made with real sugar. I always hear good things about Mexican Coke. I see her watching Dancing with the Stars. I'm like, hey, Mom, how's the dancing tonight? Pretty good, not bad, pretty bad, actually. That girl has a tribal armband. That means she doesn't believe in air conditioning. She's watching The Bachelor, get some ideas. You know, I would be okay with it if you dated a black girl. Whoa, hold up, Mom. Why didn't you say, I wouldn't mind you dating an Asian? Like you could get an Asian. Didn't they disprove Einstein's theory of immortality? Hey, Mom, there's nothing to eat around here. What do we got? Have a banana-flavored Twinkie. Bananas are good for you. I see Harrison Ford on TV. Hey, Mom, you know who that is? Star Wars man. He's in some other stuff, too. Raiders of the Lost Ark guy. I particularly like that one because she didn't say Indiana Jones. And I think more people think of the movies as Indiana Jones instead of the actual title of the first movie. Did you know that if you died, I wouldn't have to pay the rest of your student loans? That's very reassuring, thank you. this year? Well, I guess if they're healthy, I'd probably go with the Golden State Warriors. That's college. What about the pros? You know, the Warriors, they got this player named Nick Young, but he calls himself Swaggy P. He must not wash his hands. Our cable doesn't get the DUI network. Is Anderson Cooper the son of Alice Cooper? Well, yes he is, Mom. Thanks for asking. Not that his mom just died a couple days ago, but yes. Your dad thinks it's funny how I say Spangles. Hey, follow me on Twitter at Vaughn Fry. Thank you very much.